With the return of Antonio Conte to the Premier League, are you expecting a much tighter title race now? And do you think there's going to be a surprise top 4 finish for anyone?
I definitely think it's going to be a tight title race, but no, I don't see many surprises. I think fourth's up for grabs, but if United, if they go on a good run, then they're more than capable of taking that. So, no, I expect the top 4 to be, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and United.
Let's talk about a team that is muscling in hard on that top 4. Your former team, West Ham. How impressive have they been with their performances since last season under David Moyes?
They've been great. Been great, fun to watch. Energetic. They're scoring goals, and they got a good side. The squad's probably a little bit light to maintain the challenge over the season, but I think Moyes has done a great job. I think he's learned a lot from his first spell there, and he's really got the players running around and working hard for him. You were in the Hammers Academy. What do you think for West Ham fans? With the idea of being in the top 4 or just missing out on the top 4, which would be worse? Is the idea for West Ham to make it to Europe or to make it to the Champions League? Well, obviously Europe would be much more realistic target at the start of the season for sure. But look, every week that they're winning matches, and of course you've got to aim high. So at the moment that they beat Liverpool the other week, and it wasn't a fluke. So they thoroughly deserve to win the game. So the more they keep performing like that, then of course their targets will start to change. But ultimately, look, if they're challenging around the top 4 for the majority of the season and just miss out on going to Europe, then it's it'll still be a fantastic season.
So far, your West Ham player of the season?
Souček. I'm gonna go. I wanted to say Declan Rice, but it's boring. Everyone knows he's been great. So no, I think Souček. I think it's a fantastic signing, and I think his hard work allows Declan to do what he needs to do as well.
What would be the key point of difference between this season's champion and the other title contenders be?
What would be the difference?
Yeah.
I reckon it would just be down to whoever makes the least mistakes. I don't see Liverpool, Chelsea, or Man City dropping many points. So I think it would just be winning the games that they're expected to win, and literally it could come down to their head-to-head matches.
If you had to dabble on who would be, where would you put your money?
I'd probably go Chelsea. I just think City are obviously hard to they're hard to not fancy, but I just think Chelsea at the minute, I just don't see where their weaknesses are. I think they look solid, they're dominating games, and they're scoring for fun. So I think that's where my last £10 would go.
Where would that rank, if Chelsea did win, where would that rank in all of their Premier League titles, considering how much money is now in the Premier League, the quality of the players and what's being spent on players, by Manchester City? Where would Chelsea's title sit?
Well, it'll always be right up there. That's what Roman wants of the club. That's what the players want. They've got a new manager, and I think for the short spell that he's been there, I think if they could pull this off when you've got the likes of City and Liverpool knocking around, then I think it'd be a real, stamp onto world football in terms of, because anyone that wins this league is going to deserve it.
Across your entire career, who's the player that you would pay to watch in their prime today?
That I played with?
Or with, against?
God. Probably Robin, maybe. I'm lucky enough to play with many, many world-class players, but I think when Robin burst onto the scene, it was like phenomenal. I think he could score whenever he wanted to. I'd like to see him playing again in his prime.
Final question. We're in a time machine. We've got an 18-year-old Glen Johnson. Contract offer from every single Premier League club. Who would you pick to play for?
It'd have to be Liverpool. Obviously I've got a soft spot for any club that I've played with, but in the Premier League for me, it's the biggest club.
Simple as that. Brilliant.
Simple as that.
Thank you so much for your
No
time,
worries,
mate.
mate.
That was brilliant.
No
Cheers.
worries.